Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to An English Haunting. And in the last episode, guys, our adventures in Scotland continued. We were able to shed a little bit of light on the situation, trying to find Oskar's missing professor so we can find ours. And that led us to this camp here and John Price, who let us know that the professor has headed to this mountain and has not come back. So we need to go ahead and head up there and hopefully try and figure out what happened to him. But there are some concerns. Apparently it is very dangerous, and Oskar here has been acting very erratic, and I'm not exactly sure why. But, that professor is not going to find himself, so let's go ahead and get out of here. To the Black Forest. I love the cake, not necessarily the forest itself. Mist Labyrinth. Enter the Black Forest. Lovely. What could possibly go wrong? Now, we see this in a ton of point-and-click adventure games. You know what? Uh-huh. We have lost our way, haven't we? So it seems. And the fog is getting thicker. Okay. I knew that was going to happen. I remember the first time running into one of those mazes in the original Legend of Zelda, and I've seen it in a lot of point-and-click games. I was wondering what was going to happen if we go left. Let's head up. Ooh. I think... Oskar? Oskar! Damn it. A spiral. Oskar mentioned that the Order of the Eternal Wind used this symbol. I suppose the cromlech we are looking for is not far off. Head left now? More rocks with spirals. I think I'm getting closer to the cromlech. But where's Oskar, though? Oh, we can't even go. Okay. The aliens from War of the Worlds? What was that? Oh, well, that's not good. Oh my god. Professor Bennet, what happened? Run away from here. I've come to rescue you. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm already dead. Price. John Price. Yes? He betrayed me. He left me at the mercy of them. Don't let... Oh no. Someone is coming. Of course. Cultists. He's dead, my lord. It doesn't matter. We know he couldn't have stolen the key of the stars. We must find his accomplices. The old man from the lighthouse might know something. Make him talk, brother. Aye, my lord. Brothers, we've been o'er-trusting in the task entrusted to us centuries ago. We underestimated the pagans, but didn't worry. The key to the stars will return to our hands.
and those who have stolen it will pay with the most painful of deaths. Search every corner of this forest. Scour the coast. Find what belongs to us and shed the blood of the looters. Go, brothers. Show no mercy.
It's like just clock him over the head. Just grab onto those antlers and hold on tight. Damn it. I must find Oskar and get out of this place. None of this is worth finding that cursed artifact. Path. Let's go away from the guy with the antlers. Seems reasonable. As long as they don't fall into an Ewok trap, I'm fine. Well. Being chased by a Tonberry. The fog here is less dense. I must be near the forest exit. Oskar! Oh no! Run, protagonist, run! Yes, I recognize his path. It's the way out of the forest. Oh no! Everyone power walking. Okay, back to the camp. And let's very quickly. You deceitful scoundrel. The Scarlet Stone has been here all this time. Ooh. Purple kryptonite. Oh, and the... okay. I have to get out of this cursed place. Not so fast, Mr. Moore. Please leave it where you found it. I think you owe me more than an explanation, Mr. Price. Why, you expect me to say? That I'm surprised to see you alive? You sent us to the Black Forest knowing the Order of the Eternal Wind was there. You wanted to get rid of us. I was about to leave this place when you showed up. This is a competitive business, Mr. Moore. I didn't want to leave any loose ends. What did you do to Professor Bennet? His last words were an accusation against you. He said you betrayed him. We unearthed the Scarlet Stone from the cromlech in the forest. At that moment, the Order of the Eternal Wind appeared to hunt us down. I wanted to buy some time. So I snatched the artifact and smashed the old man's legs to delay our pursuers. That way, I managed to escape unscathed from that hellish place. I know what you're thinking, Mr. Moore. And let me tell you that no, I feel no remorse. There's an esoteric order that'll pay me enough for that artifact to clear my conscience. Of Dagon? Excuse me for not telling you their name. Aw. You've been so lucky in escaping those descendants of the Druids that perhaps fortune will continue to smile on you and allow you to escape from me as well. Although I very much doubt that will happen. Oskar was right. You're nothing but a looter. Oh yes, your partner. He's dead. Well, that was the idea. You're insane. I'm just a businessman. This artifact doesn't belong to you. You obtained it by getting blood on your hands. You're right. But the end justifies the means. Give it to me. I'm going to meet the same fate as the Professor, aren't I? I have no choice, Mr. Moore. You know too much, and I cannot risk you compromising me. I won't make it easy for you, you know?
Oh, come on.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you're nothing but a flimsy bookworm. The fencing and boxing you practice as a student won't save you from me. I've been in a few wars and was a mercenary before getting into this lucrative business. Do me a favor and hand over the artifact. It'll be a dignified death, not the humiliating one you seem determined to have. Let's end this once and for all.
Give me the damned artifact.
You'll have to pry it from my...
Don't resist, Mr. Moore. If you resist, it'll be more painful.
Do you want the artifact?
Yes, damn it. I have something else for you, you damned maniac.
Get the Scarlet Stone. Ah, Macquarie. Back already, are you? And then? Nothing, sir. We've scoured the entire coast and the places pointed out by Mr. Moore. There's nae a trace of the camp, nor did we find a thing in that cave. But let's recap, Mr. Moore. According to your story, you killed a man named Price, eh? In self-defense, yes. All that after escaping from a druid cult thought to be extinct. This cult allegedly murdered an archaeologist and his assistant. Look, I know how it sounds, but... And the leader of this cult wore a deer skull upon his shoulders. You don't believe me, do you? Would I incriminate myself in a crime for sheer pleasure? I'm telling you the truth. You can ask the lighthouse keeper. We talked to him. Oh, I bet these guys are in the cult. He is aware of that cult. Them. That's what he called them. The old Brody. He's nae a veritable reliable witness, if you ask me.
He once called us because he found a mermaid on the coast. When we got to the lighthouse, there was nae sign of it. He said he returned it to the sea.
The loneliness and lack of contact with civilization makes him seek attention that way. Any other witnesses to your story besides a solitary old madman, Mr. Moore? What about a cromlech in the forest? Have you been there? Listen carefully, Mr. Moore. As far as I'm concerned, you have two options. The first benefits us both. If you indeed killed this Price, well done. Macquarie and the lads found nae evidence. So, there's the case. Let's just go back to London and enjoy your perfect crime. The second option. But the second option is not in your favour. Because I think you're not but a fanciful tourist wasting our time. I just mobilised all of my forces for naught. I believe you're mocking the Scottish police. And that, my friend, could land you in a nice stint behind bars. So I'll be kind and give you the choice to take a train and head back to England. And if I see you here again, I'll lock you up until you rot. How does that sound? Listen, sir. I didn't want to hear another word from you. Macquarie, accompany Mr. Mark to the exit. It won't be necessary. Know that you are making a mistake. Oh, just get out of here already, damn it. Bloody English. A murdering cult in air as well. And he said it with full conviction.
Forget it, Sergeant. That fella likely also believes in ghosts.
Oh, maybe not a member of the cult. Hello? No one seems to be here. And it's quite dark. Why... Pull a switch? The box of revelations is nearly complete. I should assemble... Oh, the gang's here. It has been a delightful evening.
Your success is to be celebrated, Sir Arthur.
How did you find Bertolini's specialty?
Excellent. Although I believe he may have been a bit heavy-handed with the pepper.
Yes? I shall convey your feedback to Bertolini. I am fool. Where I've been, they've served only soup, and I suspect it is made with mop water.
Professor? Patrick! You've returned.
I've got to do a different voice for him.
Oh, Patrick! It's a pleasure to see you! Did you find the artifact?
What? You've returned? Found the artifact? Is that the extent of your greeting? Damn it! I was worried about you. Where on earth have you been?
Oh, yes, that. It is a long story.
For God's sake. Are you going to share it?
Oh, if you insist. However, I believe Mr. Conan Doyle might do a better job at storytelling than I. He has a knack for it. Did you know he writes stories?
Yes, I'm aware. He's the author of Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock who?
If I may, Professor.
What?
I believe Mr. Moore deserves to know your whereabouts during this time.
Oh, yes. He's quite an inquisitive young man.
As you may recall, I took it upon myself to investigate the Professor's whereabouts while you were off in Scotland. Allow me to recount the events.
Oh, toodaloo, toodaloo, toodaloo.
It seemed like the earth had swallowed up our friend. All I knew for certain was that his disappearance was connected to the money my order provided for the machine's construction. So the logical thing to do was to get to the root of the problem by starting from the beginning. I knew who to talk to and where to go. I couldn't get lost. I think I'm lost. Are we going to get this kind of version? The Great Detective? Biology. I'm not thirsty. Pharmacology. Okay. Locked. It's too late for classes to be open. Well, can we actually... Excuse me, lad. Can you tell me where I can find the Dean?
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not going to give that information to a stranger.
Well, I'm not exactly a stranger. I'm Arthur Conan Doyle, the author.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
What's your name?
Well, I don't know, but I guess if you're Arthur Conan Doyle, I must be Oscar Wilde.
Pleasure, Mr. Wilde. Oh dear. You boy, what day is this? Excuse me, lad. Can you tell me where I can find the Dean?
I don't know, sir. I need to talk to him, but he's not in his office.
Thank you very much. Excuse me, lad. Can you tell me where I could find the Dean?
Well, that's what I want to know. I'm looking for him because I have to argue. One moment. Why am I telling you this?
We're making kind of progress, I guess? Excuse me, lad. Can you tell me where I can find the Dean?
Please don't bother me. I'm not going to tell you where you can find the Dean. He's a good person who knows what your intentions are toward him.
No, That boy won't help me find the Dean. Is it a particular one? Did we talk to this guy? Can you tell me where I can find the dean?
What, you think I'm his secretary?
What a temper. Well, there is an exit, I guess. No, I need to find the dean first and talk about the money Professor Ward misappropriated. I sense that that's the key to this whole affair. Excuse me, lad. Sideburns. Yes? Can you tell me where I can find the dean? Yes, of course. He should be in the common room right now. Go to the end of this hallway and... Oh, look, here he comes. Thank you very much, young man. Pleasure, sir. Good evening, sir. Dean Henry Carter. A pleasure. Delighted. My name is... Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, I know. I attended one of your lectures last September. Mediums, Contact with the Beyond. It was a very interesting evening. Ah, you're a believer. Of course. I've even written some books on the subject. Fascinating. What brings you to this university, Mr. Conan Doyle? Well, I'm trying to solve a mystery. It's about our mutual friend, Nelson Ward. I know it is common knowledge what the professor has done, but I'm afraid I must keep that information to myself at the express wish of the director. And I'm afraid you should share that information since I'm part of this whole affair.
What do you mean?
That money that Professor Ward supposedly misappropriated belongs to me. Well, more precisely, it belongs to my order, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
But it was an anonymous donation.
Exactly. My order is characterized, among other things, by discretion. And I would go even further that money was intended solely and exclusively for Professor Ward's personal use. However, he insisted that the amount be deposited into the university's account. He only wanted a portion of it to be allocated to his metaphysical or psychic research department. As far as I'm concerned, I have every right to know all the details of this matter. As for the professor, it was his money. No one can accuse him of stealing anything. Well, if that's the case, I suppose you're right. Well then, may I ask you a few questions? Yes, of course. Did Professor Ward have any enemies?
I'm not aware of any. He may have had some disagreements with other members of the university staff, like the rector, but that does not make them his enemies.
Shall we rule out the rector, then?
Yes, please. I shouldn't have mentioned him at all. The rector is no adversary in this sorry game.
Has the alleged theft been reported to the authorities?
No.
And what's the reason for that?
We don't want a scandal over this issue. Unfortunately, word has already spread. But if we had filed a report, I'd bet anything the newspapers would have picked it up. And that would have been a disgrace for this university. A professor stealing money from donations? As I said, it would have been a scandal.
Did the professor have any debts?
Debts? Like what debts?
I'm thinking that money could have been used to pay off debt. His disappearance could be linked to this fact. Suppose he made deals he shouldn't have. Maybe his creditor collected more than just the money owed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Ah, yes. Nelson was a very austere person. He made a good living as a professor at this university. If he had any debt, he could pay it off with his own money.
So the professor was a very austere person?
Very. He hardly valued money. So it surprises me greatly that he committed this crime.
I remind you that the money belonged to the professor.
Yes, you've already mentioned that. In any case, I was telling you how little importance he gave to money. For example, he could live in any neighborhood in the city. His financial situation allowed it. But he chose to rent a humble room at number 14 Dorset Street in the West End. He's a person who never needed luxuries.
Interesting. Do you have any idea where this professor might be?
I wish I did. Nelson is my friend, Sir Arthur. What I want most in the world right now is for him to reappear and clarify this whole matter. Especially as rumors are already beginning to spread that are not to my liking.
What kinds of rumors?
It is said that he used the money to run away with the medium Beatrice Shaw and start a new life together.
Beatrice Shaw is his childhood friend. And she's also looking for him, by the way.
If you say so. But Miss Shaw doesn't have a good reputation. And she's a fake medium. She deceives people with her supposed contact with the dead.
Believe me when I tell you that Miss Shaw has nothing to do with Professor Ward's disappearance. I would stake my life on it.
I don't know. She may have an ace up her sleeve.
I believe that's all the questions I have for you, Dean Carter.
Well, it's been a pleasure conversing with you, even if it's about such an unpleasant matter.
The pleasure is mine, sir. Good night. So could the dean be in on it if he knew that the money didn't go to the college and then he funneled it to the college? Ooh. Conversation with Dean Henry Carter was quite fruitful. Among other things, it reminded me of a logical place to continue investigating. His residence on Dorset Street. I knew, Mr. Moore, that you had already searched your mentor's room. But as the saying goes, 4 eyes see more than 2. Oh, cool. I also found it striking that Professor Ward's alleged theft of the money had not been reported to avoid a scandal. But what caught my attention the most is that you, his closest associates, had not reported his disappearance to the police. Take no offense, but there was a better chance of success relying on them than only a university professor, a medium, and a writer. I had a good relationship with Scotland Yard, so it seemed like a good place to continue my investigation. Ooh. Okay. Well, let's go to Dorset Street first. $14. Oh, we may not even get access here because of... It's an old Mustard Coleman advert.
A shilling for this poor tramp?
Sorry, I don't have any loose change. Only bills.
It ain't that much better.
Check the window. I can see no light inside. 1 round Jack. I know his legend. He's an unbeatable champion. Until recently. Could be the old lady, yeah.
Who the hell's calling at this ungodly hour? People live here, damn it. And I'm paid to keep things quiet.
I'm sorry to disturb you at these hours, ma'am. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Oh, a sir. Like that fancy. You want a room, Sir Arthur? This ain't no Savoy, but it'll keep you from freezing your arse off in this lousy night.
I appreciate it, but I'm not looking for accommodation. I just want to ask you a few questions.
Ah, questions.
Can you spare a couple of minutes?
Would have preferred you to take a damn room, but fine. Shoot.
I'm trying to locate one of your tenants. Professor Nelson Ward.
Still ain't turned up.
I'm afraid so. Did Professor Ward receive any visitors?
None in all his years here.
Did you see him interact with anyone lately?
In what way? With a woman?
Or with a man?
With a man? Oh, ain't that indecent?
What? No, don't misunderstand me. I meant if you saw him with suspicious company.
Until this morning when his pal came, I figured he was a loner.
And how long since you last saw him?
Last night I heard him go downstairs. I was in bed, but his footsteps are unmistakable. Went out to the street and ain't seen him since.
So you were the last person to see him?
I ain't seen him. Heard him. But if anyone saw him that night, it was Rupert.
Who?
The beggar to your left. Always there, day and night. I know he does it to put pressure on me. Pressures me to let him sleep here, you know. But this is a business. Heard me, Rupert? A business.
I hear voices. So Rupert might be the last person to see Professor Ward.
Exactly. Unless he was passed out or drunk that night. Or both.
Listening, you old hag?
Can I search his room?
Been done already. This morning. By some fancy lad.
Mr. Patrick Moore, I work with him.
Really? Then tell him he owes me for a lamp.
Well, yes, I will. As for my question.
What question?
Can I search Professor Ward's room? Perhaps I can find something my colleague overlooked.
Now? Impossible. All the tenants are asleep. If they ain't already been woken up by your damn knocking.
I will not disturb them. I'll be as quiet as if I were in the London Library.
Now, come back tomorrow.
It is a matter of great importance, ma'am.
Important as my tenants sleep. I've told you as much. Come back tomorrow. Any more questions, Sir Arthur?
No, I think that's all. Thank you very much for answering my questions. Your responses have been very helpful.
Pleasure. Sure you ain't got more questions?
Not at the moment.
Good. Save me from more damn knocking. Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Well, looks like we're going to have a conversation with Rupert, and we will do so in the next episode, guys. I like the fact that we're getting to play as Sir Arthur here. But if you like the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.